TSM 2018 sucked, and that's it. But we are trying to be who we are not, and that's what's causing a lot of the problems. We just have to bond together, be a team, and then just strive to be the best we can be. And that's just something that we were not doing for a long time.
Hey everybody, my name is Parks. I'm joined by Mithy. They just won. Congratulations. You guys have had an emotional week, but right now, what are you all feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, it was pretty intense, but managed to pull through. Pretty just happy and just overall proud of my teammates. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys look a lot better in the last couple of weeks. You really have kind of seemed to form some of this identity, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, first off, this time last week, add on a few hours, you had to beat Optic, and then you pretty much had to beat TL, and then you had tiebreaker matches. So what was the pressure like coming into last week? And then, what was it like throughout the week, kind of knowing you had this match that you really need to win, and now you've won it?
Actually, it was even more than last week. It was 2 weeks ago, because we actually had to go 2-0 that week too, and then the next week, and then quarterfinals. I mean, it was just that shift in mentality, kind of just trying to be open about everything, rational, and just kind of go straight to the point, dig into the problem, like dig deep into the problem, and just kind of fix whatever we have to fix, adapt and understand how we are as players, what we need, and just give it our best and play with no regrets. Stop playing as if you're afraid of what someone's gonna say about you when you int or shit like that. Just go all out, and if it's over, it's over. I mean, if we would have lost before we even made it to quarterfinals, I mean, I'm pretty sure we would have not even been the same team next year, right? Because what TSM really is, right? So for us, it was just a shift in mindset that I tried to push forward, and it seems to be working okay. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what'll happen next week. However, You did make it through quarterfinals to semis, so that is good. And at the very least, you'll be in the gauntlet. So there's still, right now there's a shot at Worlds no matter what. You talk about, like what people might say about you. We've seen a lot from Reddit and YouTube and Twitter and all of these, fans or non-fans that are really critical. And it's something that I know all pros face. It's something I think TSM probably faces more than others. And you guys, you came over, you're really, really good. And sometimes you don't have as strong of performances as people might expect. How is it for you trying to kind of handle some of that? Some people say that they don't look at it at all. Some people say that it actually feeds them. What is that process like for you, kind of knowing that all these people are out here saying, messy stuff?
It's an ambiguous thing. So it might go long, but so when I first got here, I have this idea. So at first I have this expectation of what, I'm gonna go into the super team, gonna fucking destroy everyone, this is gonna be insane, I'm gonna shit on an A, and A sucks anyway, So I had that mentality going in, and I was thinking, I'm fucking good, I just won you 3 times, and just gonna destroy everyone here. And then on top of that, I have this ego I've built, that people look at me through that ego, and Mithy, who is that guy? What does he accomplish? How good is he? And then those two come into TSM, and I'm trying to do all that, and then things don't really plan out like they are in my head because that's just how it always goes. And then I just don't deal with the problems the right way because my teammates are thinking probably and are experiencing the same things where they have their own egos, they have their own ways. They're looking at me as if I'm a fucking god or something sometimes, and other times they're thinking to themselves, oh my god, this was not my old teammate. My old teammate did things so differently, and I won with my old teammates. So there's just a lot of things that you kind of have to break through, and we didn't really break through them very well. It's not I don't know if we have, but it's something we really had to dig deep on and kind of work through the core of most of our problems. In terms of what that created for me, regarding your question of the hate, right? I've always been a player that I play to win. I don't play like I don't play to look good. I don't play to make the big play. I don't play to whatever it is that I'm playing for, or like be perfect. I'm not playing for that shit. I'm playing to win. So if I'm not in the same page as my teammates, then I'll do whatever it takes. So let's say just instinctively, I know it's bad, right? But instinctively, as an example, I know this is a good fight to take. And then I expect my teammate, because of, let's say, for 2 years I've been playing with another teammate that would go in this situation because we understand each other. And then I have this teammate who is not going in that situation, which I see very obvious that is a good time to go in. Then if he doesn't go, I'll go with whatever it takes because I'm judging the situation to be good. And then what's going to happen is that he should have gone because it would have been the most optimal play, and then the play doesn't turn out as good as it should be. Not only that, but just like laning phase and so on. It's just like me and Jesper sometimes. We also are not on the same page. We're not perfect players. There's just like this ego that people have built on us, you know. Like the reason we did good in G2 is because we were consistent. That's pretty much it. We had good understanding of the game. We worked well with our team. We worked well with macro. Didn't really fall too far behind most of the games, even though we sometimes have hinted it on stage in EU and NA. But it was mostly about consistency more than anything, you know. And yeah, there's just so many things that can and can't go wrong, and I can't really explain the problems for everything, and I'm not gonna say I'm good or I'm gonna say I'm bad. I'm just saying that there's just so much that you can't really quite understand, you know. And as a Redditor, when you read those comments, there at times I just think I can read it and be like, okay, this is criticism that I can craft to be constructive and like understand, okay, I'm failing too much at this, like they must be right in something. If I'm dying too much, then maybe it's because I'm having the wrong mindset, or because I'm mechanically not playing well enough, or I'm just not reading the situations well, or sometimes it can get to you because you see it so much that instead of taking it in a constructive way, you just take it in a destructive way where you're like, oh my God, I'm failing at everything. I'm so bad. I'm mechanically so horrible, you know, and look at this, look at what everyone is saying to me. So it's ambiguous. It's hard to deal with. And it's something that, like here speaking, is something that every pro player has to deal with. And not really every pro player, but every person that is in front of other people, you know. So you just have to take it with a grain of salt and try to take advice from not that, but people that really want to give it to you in a good way. Not from Reddit, but from your coach or from your friend, you know, like from your old teammates or from the colleagues that you meet in the LCS, for example, you know. All those guys probably have a better idea and understanding and can kind of, you can have a conversation with them and just understand yourself and whatever it is better and how to improve in a much more consistent way. And I think that's something that took me a while to kind of dig into and feel. And I still don't really, like, I'm not good at it or anything, but yeah, coming to NA has been a very big growing experience for me because before the expectations were not so high, and this has just been a good way for me to kind of like cut through all that and understand it and kind of dissect it. Other than that, for players, I'd say you are probably your biggest critic anyway. If you're a pro player, it's because you're hard on yourself. Like, there's no other way that you're a pro player. You must have a lot of talent, but you have to be hard on yourself to improve. If not, there's no fucking way you're gonna be good, you know. So that's something that you have to understand, that you are your biggest critic, and you just have to be honest to yourself. And honestly speaking, I could see myself, like, I had all these issues where I felt like I was just so much worse, and this was my year to retire and shit. But now I see who I am and what I do, and I know that I'm good, but I'm not comparing myself to other people. I'm completely different in so many ways. I have strengths, I have weaknesses, but yeah, overall I feel like I'm good and I'm in the right track to become better, you know. And that's really all I have to strive for, is becoming better, not really where I am right now. So yeah. That was a long answer, but
yeah, well, I really appreciate it. And I think that's something that'll be helpful for me as well, and hopefully others, you know. Yeah, I think, you know, taking criticism from the people that actually care about you and want you to get better and know about the situation is definitely helpful feedback. So I'm glad that you're kind of, still able to read this, kind of have some thick skin and see some truth. And
you have to. So I'm talking for myself, right? But you just have to. It depends on your mood. If you're down, there's no point in reading something to beat yourself further down. That doesn't make any sense. If you're feeling bright and you want to kind of like, come down to earth or just see what's going on and try to like find feedback and stuff, then you can look for that. But either way, most of the time, it's pretty useless to look at those comments looking for ways to like build up your ego or just eventually figure out that you're actually getting your ego beaten down. So
has Reddit ever actually been helpful for you? Like, have you ever looked at a thread and been like, wait a second, I did miss XYZ. I should look out for that next time.
Yeah. And also just when you have a good game and everyone's like, oh my God, he's so good. Oh, and you're like, oh yeah. But at the end of the day, that just builds up your ego too. And then when you play your next game, you expect to play as good as that game where you maybe had a good game, or, like it just kind of builds up the wrong mindset for you. So, or it's like, oh, they're always looking at me as if I'm so good and my teammates are so bad and my team must just suck and it's just all me, and play more around me and shit like that. Like, there's just so many things that happen when you read those comments in your mind that I overall think it's not very healthy. I definitely look at them sometimes. Like, for example, today we won. I'll probably go and look and be like, oh yeah, we won. Yeah, let's see what they have to say, But it's not a healthy thing to do, in my opinion.
So either way, yeah, that is a good point. It's not necessarily grounded in the truth. So you don't want to get that false ego bloated as well. So that is true. Thank you. So we're done with Reddit. We don't have to talk about that anymore. So I want to go back to talking about something that we were kind of hinting at a little bit earlier. You guys, you did struggle this season. You struggled some in lane where you didn't as much earlier. And TSM struggled in a way that we haven't seen them struggle in a while. They didn't really seem to have kind of the same identity and understanding of the game, which we're pretty used to seeing TSM have, over in NA. And so I talked to Sven about that a few weeks ago, and he said that, from in his perspective, you guys really didn't have much of an understanding of your team and your strengths and really even how to find that. And since then, I know that you've been working hard, the whole team has been, and Weldon has also come in. How much do you feel like you've kind of accomplished at least figuring out what you're supposed to be doing? And how much of that comes from Weldon? How much of it really just came from you guys, saying this is it, it's now or never?
Definitely Weldon has been a support, but it was us saying like it's now or never. We have to figure our shit out. We have to turn the table upside down, look at every screw, see what the hell is going on. And Weldon has been supporting us through that by making things easier, making discussions like more healthy, just overall like keeping us in check, like giving a speech to motivate us, helping us with mindfulness, for example, to calm ourselves down. Just in general, just being there as a big support in that. But that's a team effort, like not just the team, the players, also the coaching staff. Everyone has been putting a lot of effort in, like I said, just flipping the table upside down and figuring out what is wrong. I don't think we've figured anything out other than the fact that our organization is TSM, very great org, nothing to say about that. But we are a completely different team. We might have two players from TSM, but we're not TSM 2000X. We are TSM 2018, and we are this team. We fuck expectations, don't care about anything. We are this team. We're gonna try and bond together and do the best we can with what we've got. Not what we should be doing, what we should have, what we should anything. Just do the best we can with what we've got. And the most importantly, try and trust each other, love each other, and just like be honest with each other and bond as a team and just beat TSM 2018. If TSM 2018 sucks, that's fine. Just TSM 2018 sucked and that's it. But we are trying to be who we are not. and that's what's causing a lot of the problems. We just have to bond together, be a team, and then just strive to be the best we can be. And that's just something that we were not doing for a long time.
Well, yeah, I really like that. Is that something that you've just kind of figured out then? Like that you really were trying to fit into, you're a circle and you're trying to fit into a square peg or something?
Yeah, it's a lot of reflection. Yeah, it's, I'm sad I didn't really see things as soon as I got here. I just didn't have the right mentality or didn't really like work the right way. I understand that there was things like that were blocking me from doing that, like the fact that I'm in a new country, I'm in a great org, I feel small, There's so many things that kind of affected the way I work, and I just have to get used to things, if, like I said, TSM 2018, if we were to suck, we sucked, but we were not even being ourselves. For the most part, we were just trying to please Reddit, or please whoever it was that, like, please Andy, please the expectations they have for us. That's their investment, not ours. Our investment is to be a group, be a band of brothers, work together, and to strive to be the best we can be. And then if we win shit, then our org will be happy, but I'm gonna be happy too. I don't care about my org. They're paying me money. They're a great org. They take care of everything. That's why I came here. But after that, it's more about just being a team.
Yeah, I like that. I'm glad that you've at least somewhat started to figure that out. Do you feel like this game is going to give you guys confidence moving forward in playoffs and as this team?
Yeah, I would have hoped that even if we lost, we kept the morale and the mood that we've been having lately, because it honestly felt really good for me to just wake up every day and scrim. Like, I legit just felt happy to be doing my job, and that's something that I strive for, like that's why I'm doing this, instead of like doing something else or working 6 hours and then having fun and doing my own stuff, So I hope our moods. I'm sure our mood will stay good, and we'll stay focused, and we'll keep striving to be good. But yeah, I would have hoped that this thing stays on, like even if we would have lost. So yeah.
Yeah, well, and hopefully it will.
Yeah.
Especially because you have more games ahead of you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the series a little bit. We haven't really talked about it too much. First off, I want to point out that everyone knows you as a Tom Kinch and Braum only player, and we saw a number of them banned this series, and you actually didn't play either of those champions at all throughout the 5 games. Yeah. I don't know if it's you trying to make a statement. I don't know if it's us having a bad read on who you are as a support player, or if it's just something that you've been working on and you finally got to bring out. But yeah, you want to talk about that at all and the picks that you brought out today?
Well, Tam and Braum are. It's easy to play with those champions. Like the way the game works is very easy for a team. You kind of like just run as a death ball, walk into places. You don't really have to think too much about how to fight. It's just, you don't have to be creative of how you want to fight, how you want to flank, all that stuff. It's just front to front, back to back, whatever. It's really easy to play. So when we were struggling, even if we're struggling now, when the team really sucks, the easiest way to play the game is to do front to front, focus front line, that kind of stuff. Take vision the easy way, have a tank that can put wards down. And that's why, since we were sucking, the easiest champions for us to get some wins is to play the easy champs, And I'm okay with that. When I'm playing those champions, I have a lot more overview of the rest of the map. So that's the main reason. I don't feel like I'm a Tam Braum only player. Just because of how, like, the amount of things I've played back in Europe and what I've won, and even at Worlds, like, I remember playing Annie, playing Thresh, playing Alistar. 2015 Worlds, I didn't even play Tam very much. Like, I don't feel like I'm a Tam Braum one trick, but I do think NA has made me one. But I don't think that has to do with me. It has to do with other things within the team, and just even my performance. And let's say I'm playing Alistar. If my team is playing front to front and I have Alistar, it's going to be a worse champion. You need to be creative. You need to be looking for flanks, looking for different kind of opportunities that you wouldn't look for if you're playing front to front. And then there's the other point where how do you put wards down if you're not going front to front? You need to ward differently, look for different angles, how to set up vision different ways, instead of just grouping up and doing everything together. So it's a lot more complicated than people might think or people might see. So that was some of the main reasons why I've been playing Tam and Braum. I think now that our team, through a lot of struggle, has kind of gotten a grasp, like a slight grasp of how it is that we can play the game more than one way. I'm able to play different champions that enable me in different ways. I don't think I'm great at them either. I don't think I'm great at Tam and Braum either, but that's just how it is, It's different play styles require different champions require different play styles, and if you can't play them, then the champions are gonna suck.
Well, I mean, I guess some of these more creative, the supports that you were playing kind of required some creativity, which is probably good against Echo Fox's crazy team. But I also would say that some of your peers in the support position have said your Tam and Braum is pretty hard to beat. So I think you might not be giving yourself enough credit there. All right, so 2 things really quick. I have a question about the Best in the West meme. You guys came over, Double Lift memed you really hard. You may get to face them later on in the playoffs. I know you just beat them last week. But also, we saw your old team come over and with a new bot lane and actually won the competition, the Best in the West competition.
Yeah.
So is that at all emotional to you to see your old team and your kind of replacements walk off with these big belts?
You definitely feel like jealous in a competitive way, but I think it's all a meme. Like, sure, you can tell, you can be like, oh, they're the best in the West, whatever it is. That doesn't really, I don't really regard that as something that boosts my ego, or I don't really want to. I just, like I said, in G2, my mindset was, I love my teammates, I trust them, I do everything I can to enable them to be good, and whenever I have an opportunity to do something for myself to look, not to look good, but to make the team win, I'll look for it, and I know that if it fails, they'll be there loving me, supporting me, and trusting me with whatever decision I make. And that's kind of the feeling that I had in G2. That's the feeling I'm trying to push in TSM, and that's the fact that we were able to win is because we were a good group. We did things well, and we were great players. We also worked very well together, and I guess since we won so much and made it to finals and MSI, did okay at Worlds, not really okay, but we at least stood our ground the second time. And kind of those things, some people regard us as the best in the West. I really don't care. So, but yeah, the fact that G2 got it is ironic. So for me, it was funny, and obviously I felt jealous to see that, but I have a really good relationship with G2. So it kind of sucks that they, as I'm speaking, they lost in quarterfinals. I actually have a very good relationship with all of my old G2 teammates, and even with Carlos. So yeah, I just feel sorry for them and give them a hug from here, and I hope they make it through the gauntlet. I really think they can. They just have to listen to this interview and kind of take some things from it. I really think they probably need them, and yeah.
Yeah, well, best of luck to G2. Maybe you guys will get to see, to be reunited over there at Worlds if we can see both of you make it on.
I think we're probably going to reunite in Korea one way or another.
One way or another. Awesome. Thank you so much for the interview. We are running out of time. Before we go, do you have any last words for fans that have kind of stuck with you? New fans, old TSM fans, anyone else?
Just want to say thanks to the hardcore fans that stay with us no matter what. But the rest of them, just thank you to the real fans, and being in TSM is awesome. Hearing the cheers in the crowd, it's just insane. It's really the only thing I came here for. So just thank you.
It was definitely nostalgic getting to hear that for me as well. So that was awesome. Congratulations on the win. Before we go, really quick, I'm going to challenge you to rock, paper, scissors.
All right, let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors. I got to win. All right. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for the interview. We will catch you next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. To see some more Shotcaller League of Legends content, you can find some videos off to the side, or like and subscribe. And also please share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we will see you guys next time.